What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Devin the Bear here in 2023, closing in on what was going to be our 2 years of doing the podcast. We're excited to be here with y'all. We're kind of wrapping up after our last episode of the year was with Miles Banks. Be sure to check it out. The video is on YouTube. Is on all listening platforms as well. And check out Miles's Instagram at Banks Marley as well. We got a card coming up this week, so we figured it was good just sit down. Probably more so just shoot the shit with y'all. The card is a last minute replacement. Sean Strickland taking on, I'm gonna butcher his name.
Nasardine Imavov.
Thank you.
The card itself is probably gonna be pretty solid, but it's not grabbing any headlines really. I think there will be some pretty good finishes. I think Dan Ige is always capable of doing it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything from Sean Strickland that's been pretty crazy lately other than him getting knocked out. So maybe he'll go in there and do something crazy. Imavov he's a good fighter. He makes for good fights. But I don't know that he's ready to fight someone quite on Sean Strickland's level yet.
Right.
Sean can be really technical when he needs to be. So
yeah, and I think that's what it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be at 205 as well. It's gonna be a light heavyweight fight since it's last minute replacement for him. Kelvin Gastelum's out because of a mouth injury.
Yeah, or that giant staph hole on his face.
Yeah, he always has staph, dude. Wash your ass. What's going on there? I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but shower. Fucking dude. But Dan Ige, co-main event. I'm excited for that, taking on Damon Jackson, and I think it's going to be a very good fight. Anytime Dan Ige fights, I'm always looking forward to it. I mean, the nickname is 50K for reasons because he always puts on either fight of the night or is he getting some type of bonus. He's getting a knockout bonus. So, Nurmagomedov. There we go. I don't know how I fuck up that last name because I've been saying it for years. So Umar Nurmagomedov is taking on Honi Barcelos. That's gonna be a fun fight. If it
stays on the feet.
If you're an Usman fan, you know.
Yeah. If it stays on the feet, I think it could be fun. But Umar's not gonna.
No,
do that.
He's looked fucking great though, and so I'm expecting him to look great again. You know.
He's gonna tie up Barcelos' legs once they go to the ground, and that's all it's gonna be.
Yeah, and then you got also on the prelims, you got Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
I'm always down to watch him. I just want him to start stringing together some wins.
Yeah, and so I hope so too. I mean, he's a lot of fun to watch, dude. I mean, he's got crazy power in his hands as well. But yeah, this is a UFC card coming up for this Saturday. Let us know your thoughts on that. That's all really I have to say about that subject. Yeah. So, do you see Aljamain Sterling? It was out with a torn bicep.
A torn bicep?
That was burping.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that he was out. I don't know, man. It just seems like no matter what goes on with Aljamain Sterling, it's always going to be something that's going to cost him the public eye.
Yeah.
Somehow. Whether it's legitimate or serious or whatever, I just feel like there's always going to be something with him. He's calling out Henry Cejudo, and then all of a sudden he gets injured. Or he's been injured.
Yeah, he's been injured, and it sucks because he was hyping this fight up a lot, and it's like, come on, man. Like, why are you going to hype up a fight you know that you're not going to be able to do?
Who are the next tough coaches?
I don't know.
Maybe that's what he's working for. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't. I guess it's his way of trolling everybody again, and it's just like you just need to stop trying to troll people, man. That shit's annoying as fuck. And so, I don't know how long he's gonna be out. There's everybody in the top 5. I know Cheeto, Sean, and I don't think Corey Sandhagen's spoken on it, but they're calling that there should be an interim title. I don't think there should be an interim title. I don't know the full how long it takes for a bicep to heal after that.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot they can do, but it'll take a little bit. I remember seeing the video of when Tom DeBlas tore his bicep.
Yeah.
And that was rough.
Dude, it's nuts. You see just the whole bicep just shrink up when it happens.
And he finished teaching the classes that day.
No shit.
Yeah, his other coaches were telling him, like, nah, man, go to the freaking doctor. Just take care of yourself. And he's like, yeah, all right. And then finished class, finished the day, and then went to the doctor.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I don't know. It takes 3 to 4 months. I just looked it up. So to be 3 to 4 months, he's going to be out. That's not going to include having to get back in shape for fighting because he does blow up a lot. So I don't know what to do with that weight class. It sucks because it's always Aljamain's fault no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's always something going on with him, and it sucks because he's so freaking good.
Yeah.
And every time he goes in the cage, I feel like he reminds people of how good he is and why he deserves to be there. But then, like, when he's outside of the cage, something happens, and people are like, yeah, he sucks. We're tired of him. And I'm like, but he doesn't suck, and you're not tired of him. It's just very unfortunate the things that go on with him.
Yeah, he just has really bad luck. And so I saw a comment the other day, actually whenever the news broke, and someone said he just needs to do what Yuri did and vacate the title out of respect for the rest of the division. And this is why, like, I respect a lot what Yuri did because he's going to be out for a whole year. So it was cool of him to be like, hey, I'll just come back and get that title again if I'm really the champion. I can do it. But that's where I really hate that people think, okay, yeah, just vacate the title if you're injured. It's like, it's not that simple, you know.
Yeah.
There's no need for an interim belt. There's no need for him to vacate the title. I mean, why? Not every fighter is going to do that. They don't have to do that, you know. And so
and that just creates confusion down the road. Because what happens if like, say Aljo vacates the title and then say they do Sandhagen versus like Dillashaw for the interim,
right?
And doesn't really matter who wins that one, but say one of them wins it and then Sean O'Malley wins it, then you're gonna have Aljo come back and fight Sean O'Malley, but you'll never see another fight with like Aljo and Sandhagen or Aljo and Dillashaw. You'll never get those fights.
Right.
And so it'll just be like, okay, well, we missed out on a lot because he had to vacate the title.
Imagine if he misses out on a lot of fucks with the division because I guarantee they're probably going to give Merab a title shot if he were to vacate it.
I forgot all about Merab.
Imagine that he gets the belt and then Aljamain never gets his title back because he's not going to fight his friend, you know?
Yeah.
So it just fucks a whole lot of things up. I don't know. I just don't really like the whole thing with it. Take your 3-4 months off. Don't vacate the title. You're not going to be out for a very extended period of time, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was always surprised when, like, even GSP, whenever he tore his ACL, he didn't even vacate the title. There was an interim championship, but he never gave up the belt or anything.
All those interims with Dominic Cruz until he had to vacate.
Yeah, dude, yeah. I mean, the interim champion was Renan Barão, and he was actually defending their interim championship, which is super fucked up, though, when you think about it. Like,
because he never got the credit of being champion.
No.
Because he was interim.
Yeah.
And again, like, you'll always have that kind of confusion or gray area. It's like, yeah, but you never beat the champion, so are you really the champ?
Yeah.
So Renan Barão was being the interim. He was acting like a champion. He was out there defending a title, but it meant nothing.
Do you think he would have? How do you think that fight would have went if Renan and Dominic Cruz would have fought?
At the time?
Yeah.
I don't know, because at the time, Dominic was still pretty unhittable.
Yeah.
And Barão would go out there and swing on people.
He would.
And I think Dominic Cruz would have welcomed that.
Yeah.
I am also a big fan of Dominic Cruz, so
I mean that's also why I asked.
I'm trying to be unbiased, but I think Dominic Cruz would kind of welcome that. And if Dominic Cruz makes it past the first and second round, it's him from then on.
Because prime Dominic Cruz never had ring rust.
Yeah, no. So I think third, fourth, and fifth would be all Dominic Cruz.
I think he would have because like Renan Barão was just walking through people when he was even when he was defending the belt, but then he met TJ Dillashaw, and we saw what Dillashaw did to him. So if Dillashaw did that to him, and look who he emulated his style from.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and he took TJ. TJ took what he had from Team Alpha Male and Ludwig, and then he saw the success that Dominic Cruz had and took that, integrated it into what he already had and what worked for him, and it worked really well.
Dude, yeah, it was crazy.
He made Barão look like trash.
He made him look like a fool. Like it was a rough fight for him, dude. And so, what's your thoughts on Dana White hitting his wife?
I don't know. I think that's something you don't bounce back from.
He did an interview. He did a whole press conference. Did you see it?
Yeah. And, well, I didn't. I saw like the highlights or whatever, like TikToks and stuff. But people are saying that he needs to quit and or be fired and stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't want to speak on it because I don't want to sound like I don't want to come off like I'm supporting what he did or
Yeah.
being okay with it, because obviously it's not okay. But it's kind of between him and his wife, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he's pretty much said. Is he's like they've cleared it up. They have no issues. I don't think in any circumstance you should put your hands on a woman.
And
you
I'm
know?
I'm perfectly fine with everyone hating Dana White. I'm perfectly fine with some of these fighters making fun of him
Yeah.
or threatening him even. I'd be fine with that. You hit a woman, you deserve it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe make a deal with one of these heavyweights and be like, all right, let's go headgear, gloves, and let's spar.
I would respect him if
you're
he
gonna
did
beat
that.
me up, but
Yeah.
I deserve it.
Like I would at least like admire. It'd be very admirable if he did
Yeah.
that. Just be like, you know what, guys, like I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that.
Let
like,
it be Francis, because
Francis would fucking beat the shit out of him.
he'd be like, all right, everybody feels like I've been disrespecting you, Francis, and now I've disrespected my wife. So, you know, on behalf of her and yourself, why don't you beat me up?
Yeah, I mean, granted, she did hit him first, and I understand self-defense and stuff like that, but he's a lot bigger than his wife, and yeah,
I don't even know if a self-defense case would hold up in that, because
No.
she swung and started walking away, and it's no longer self-defense.
no, he. So what did you see? Like when they were arguing, you saw. I know you seen
Yeah.
the full video because it was somebody I was talking with at work that hadn't seen the full video. But yeah, she hit him first, and then he hit her back, and then she tried to go away, and then he tried to hit her again.
I think she had already tried walking away before he hit her. Like she had turned around, and like that's when he started hitting her.
Yeah.
And then he may have went again, but I
And
don't
that's
think
when
I don't think self-defense case would hold up.
When he went back for another one, I was like, Jesus Christ, man! And then it got broken up. But yeah, somebody had pointed out one of his quotes from 2014 saying, "You don't bounce back from ever hitting a woman," like you said.
Yeah.
And they actually had the balls to fucking say it to his face as well, though. And they were like, you know, do you remember quoting this? And he's like, it's true though.
Yeah. What I do love is Ariel Helwani giving him crap for
Yeah.
all the stuff that he had told Ariel, and Ariel was like, so he's like, the things that stuck with me was you asked me what are my kids gonna think of me and this and that, and he's like, you don't bring your children up, you don't bring people's kids up, you don't bring their family up, that's just not cool, it's crossing the line and blah blah blah. Anyway, so he immediately did what he just said you don't do, and was like he's like, what? So now I ask you, Mr. White, I ask you, what are your kids gonna think? What is your legacy? What are you now? What kind of man are you now? What kind of father are you now? What kind of husband are you now that you've hit your wife? Who are you now? Huh? And I was just like, yeah, you're so better than them, Ariel.
Fucking but yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, that's like you said, it's his business. However he handles that shit. If he was to take a step back, I would understand it. You know.
He said something about taking off for like 30 days or
Yeah.
something, and I don't know what he was talking about with that. I don't really care if he leaves or not. I guess I do, because I would like for him to leave, but I'm worried about who would replace him.
I don't want Hunter Campbell to replace him.
Yeah.
And that's who's probably going to replace him. That dude does not respect or understand fighters at all. He's a casual.
They should just sell to Chaudhry Sichodong and unify with ONE FC.
So, what's his name? I was watching a video the other day, and it said it was from MMA on Point, and it said, I forgot the title, but it was something along the lines like, "This could ruin the UFC." I think that's what the title was. And
Dana White hitting his wife?
No, so it came out like right after that, and so everyone thought it was about that, and then it was about if the Ollie Act is to ever become a thing in MMA. Did you watch it?
No, but I do know that the guy that proposed the Ollie Act back in like 2013 is back again, introducing it again.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's got a whole lot more backers this time. So they're thinking that it might actually go through this time. And I don't think it'll ruin the UFC. It'll definitely better it if they choose to just accept it and work with it instead of trying to like still find ways around it, or find ways to scrimp and save anywhere they can to make more money for themselves.
I recommend giving it a watch, because it's Tommy Tohold that does the video as well. He's the narrator for it, and he kind of gives his idea, or like his hypothesis as to what is going to happen. And it's actually really, really good. It's a different insight. I think because people hear the Ollie Act and they're like, oh, we got to have a fighters union, we got to do this. But it just talks about like what happens if we actually do a fighters union, you know? And so, yeah.
Well, if you actually do a fighters union, then your fighters start getting paid a little better.
Yeah.
And they start being a little happier with themselves.
But like, so they talk about like if they were to join the Ali Act, then they would actually have to make an actual world ranking, and nothing would be legitimate when it would come down to like the UFC rankings, the Bellator rankings. Like there would have be actual people like an actual job would be setting up a real ranking system in MMA.
I'm okay with that. That's what one tries to do. That's why they have all the different sports. And that's why they I think they include it in every fighter's contract to cross over to each sport because they encourage it, but they're not making anybody do anything. But like Stamp Fairtech, she's a 3-sport athlete, and I think she's their only 3-sport athlete. That's cool. She does Muay Thai, MMA, and grappling. I don't know that she's had a championship in all 3, but I know that she's done all 3. She's got a fight coming up pretty soon. Actually, this weekend is a 1 fight.
Really?
Yeah, that's going to be on Prime. I know that Supergirl is going to be on there, so I'm excited for that. But her fight is a rematch against her most recent opponent that she beat, and I'm just glad she's on a big 1 card. I think that's cool.
Did you see Chaudhry? He came out and announced that there's going to be a 16-man Muay Thai tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be the grand prize is $1 million.
Did you see the weight class?
No, I did not. I can check it out, but I'm interested in that though. I'm really interested in that. You know, it's really I don't know. I feel like ONE FC does really great things when it comes to just not just MMA, but to other sports as well. You know, actually having a competitive jiu-jitsu division as well.
Mikey Musumeci's on that card. Sam Fairtex and Anissa Mexen. That fight's gonna be really good. I actually think that Anissa Mexen can win that fight. Sam Fairtex can be kind of a slow starter sometimes, and Anissa does not come out slow. Anissa, whatever. Anyway, and then Rod Tang's fighting. Ong La Song is fighting Gilbert Galvo. Gary Tanon's grappling on there. Actually, that might be an MMA fight. I'm pretty sure it's grappling, but it could be an MMA fight. Yeah, then you have Supergirl. It's a pretty solid card. I'm pretty excited for it. And then I think in a couple weeks they have another pretty solid card that John Lineker's headlining.
That's cool.
He is very possibly on steroids now.
It's an open weight Muay Thai.
Really?
Yeah, Grand Prix. Yeah. So that's going to be really interesting.
Does it have the names of who's in it?
I don't know if he's announced the names yet. I'm checking it out right now.
I know Bellator, this is kind of off topic, I guess, while you're finding that. Bellator just announced a lightweight Grand Prix.
I was just going to talk about that, yeah.
Ben Henderson, AJ McKee, Pitbull, that one Nurmagomedov.
Usman Nurmagomedov?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think, or I hope that the finals is either Pitbull and McKee or Henderson and McKee, but yeah. I don't think Henderson makes it that far.
I don't think so either. I would
just like to see it.
Oh yeah, because he's already fighting Usman Nurmagomedov to start off the lightweight Grand Prix. I like these Grand Prix that they do, but I feel like cool. It's cool as shit. But I feel like it kind of sucks at the same time because it's like now we're just kind of like holding up to the whole division because of the Grand Prix. You know,
I would agree if it wasn't like all the guys who are the top competitors in that division are in the Grand Prix. Yeah. So I don't think it's holding it up because they now all the guys who are competitively fighting for a title shot or the title, now they're all chasing the title. Yeah. So I think it kind of fast tracks some guys and maybe it puts some guys back down, but you know the rest of the division's going to kind of start to shape itself to see who needs to be in the top 10. The guys who lose are in the Grand Prix are going to be moving out of the top 10. I think it kind of fast tracks some things.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that as well. What's his name? What you think about Cheeto Vera talking about the drug testing retired fighters?
I think it's pretty interesting because it shows loopholes in the USADA stuff and it starts to kind of like shed light on or shine light, whatever, on certain guys who follow those same patterns, like retiring or when they get injured and they kind of do certain things that kind of, it's a little sus.
Yeah.
Like retiring and then staying in great shape. Staying or getting in better shape, I should say.
Yeah.
Dillashaw's definitely one of them. Connor.
You see Cowboy?
Cowboy.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's 220 now.
And he looks every bit of it.
Yeah. And someone commented on one of his posts that he's on that secret juice, and he said it ain't no secret.
Yeah, dude. It's freaking crow milk.
Yeah.
What is that? Fighter's milk?
Fight milk.
Fight milk.
Fucking but yeah, no, man, he's I see where Cheeto's coming from. Like, if TJ Dillashaw decides to come back in another years, like, you know, I just want to, I didn't end on my career on a good note. I want to end on a good one, you know. And he fucking comes back and he looks like a world eater. I'd be like, dude, no, fuck that. Like, there's no way you weren't on something, you know. With Connor being out, I mean, to be able to fully repair a bone break the way that he suffered, for your shin to go back to being as strong as it once was, is you have to take some type of supplement to get it back to that full strength, you know. And so yeah, man, it's some other shit, but I think it's pretty fucked up that what's supposed to be the world's strongest drug test, or world's hardest drug test to pass, has so many loopholes, you know. So,
well, I think they should just have a steroid division. No weight class, just steroid division.
I'll just watch ONE FC if that's the case.
I think there's a lot of guys. I think the majority of fighters are clean in one. But there are some guys that obviously are on something.
Right.
Like Alan Ngalani, I believe he's clean because of his family. Like the way that his brothers and how huge they are, and they don't. Maybe they could be on steroids too, but he like documents so much of his life. I don't think he does steroids. I'm pretty convinced. Just how he is, the kind of person he is, the things he talks about, and the ways that he talks about his life and his workouts and like what it means to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he does steroids.
Think William Knight does steroids?
No.
No. You think Kamaru Usman's on the sauce?
That's a tough one because he doesn't. I don't think he has a whole lot of like signs that he is, as far as his performance or like not necessarily his physique. But you know, he could be. Yeah,
I mean, it's just weird whenever you have two bad knees and you have the cardio of a fucking. You know, I don't even know what to say, but yeah.
Well, he's a wrestler. I'll never question wrestlers' cardios.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, yeah, but I mean, we also seen wrestlers with bad cardio because they're just too explosive. But it's just weird though that brother's a doctor, his dad was a pharmacist, he's got bumps on his stomach.
Yeah, but those bumps on your stomach don't mean anything. That's been debunked. It's been debunked.
So yeah,
DevBot.
So. It's I don't know, man. If Kamaru Usman were to pop tomorrow, I'd be like, I'm not fucking surprised. Like if Volkanovski popped, I don't think he's on steroids at all. I will make that clear. But I don't think Alexander Volkanovski is on any type of fucking like
why not
performance enhancing. Just because you look at his physique and the way that he's built and the way that he fight, I just don't see it.
His physique for his stature is pretty similar to Kamaru's.
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, he's short, stocky. You know, he packs a lot of power. But if he were to pop, though, something would just be like, I'm not surprised. You know, because of how fucking good he's looked. And it's just like there's no way you come out here just always looking this better than the last time. You know. Yeah. So like him in there's apparently a fucking rumor going around that Islam's gonna retire after he beats Alex.
If he beats, or like just after the fight indefinitely?
After the fight, like he's gonna retire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope he loses.
Yeah.
So I was talking to someone, Ethan. I was talking to him, and he was saying that he doesn't like Volkanovski, and I was just so confused. I was like, "What do you not like about him?
How do you not like Alexander Volkanovski?
There's nothing to not like about him. He's a good dude. He's funny. He's entertaining. He's a great fighter. He's pretty well rounded, so there's not really anywhere in the sense of he can hold his own on the ground.
Right.
But there's not really anywhere that the fight goes where I'm going to be like, oh, great, here we go. We're going to see him get pummeled or held down for the next however many minutes. Like, you just don't see that happen in his fights.
Yeah. I mean, he always puts on entertaining fights. He's fun to check out. He said he's a funny dude, but like what did he say about him that he doesn't like him?
I don't know.
Just not a fan of him?
Maybe after we're done recording, we'll go find out.
I was literally about to say, hey, can we go barge in his house? Yeah. And then I'm just gonna Stockton slap him and leave. So yeah, my shin hurts, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good, man. You kicked me. It was a good check. It was a good check. I gotta give credit where credit's due. Zach likes to beat the shit out of me when he gets the chance.
That's not true.
Respect, dog.
How many times do I try to give you shots?
All the time.
Free shots.
All the time.
I just stand there.
Yeah.
You don't take advantage of it. Don't blame me.
So if you want to throw down with the bear, let us know. He's always open to sparring anybody.
I have all the equipment that you could need.
And it can be a friendly spar. Not we're trying to take anybody's fucking head off.
Yeah. Just fun. Educational even. Just,
We should.
I could learn from you. You could learn from me maybe. Like, let's find out.
We should get a title made and just like make you the champ and be like, dude, pull up if you want to get this title.
Yeah, we'd have the DMB championship and everybody would think we're Dave and Buster's.
Oh Jesus. Fuck, man. That's a copyright waiting to happen. Yeah.
But yeah, any other news going on? Let us know what you think. Oh, Devin just came up with something.
Tank Davis won his fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like 6-run TKO.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I know.
Did you see his weigh-in? The weigh-in?
No.
He looked like he was drunk or
probably was.
Like pretty toasted.
Because he knows how fucking good he is.
Yeah.
Know?
Well, and him and Ryan Garcia are set in April.
Thank God. Is there a date yet? Oh, what
April 15th, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. Cool. I'm just, like I said before, I don't care when there's a date set. Like, until it's happening, I don't.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's really, really hard with boxing because like I think I told you, is like I don't take anything in boxing serious until the weigh-in happens and until
until they're in the ring ready to go down.
Because like it's annoying because like I want to really, really like boxing, but just the fact that these fighters never want to fight each other is frustrating. Like the lightweight division can honestly bring boxing back to life. I feel like it's dying as a spectator sport. It's still very entertaining. There's still incredible fighters out there, great boxers that we know one of them. We Carlos Nava, we know him personally, and he's having trouble getting a fight because nobody wants to fight each other. I think it's. I think I told you this last night. It's crazy all the way from the world stage to who's the best in the world all the way down to the regional circuit. Nobody wants to fight each other. Everybody wants to make all this money, and it's like, fuck, man. Like,
and then you have people like Alexis who are jumping sports.
Yeah.
Fighting. He's unranked, fighting one of the top ranked guys in Texas. He just doesn't care. He'll fight anybody.
Yeah. And it's
some guys are worth their salt.
I think it's pretty sad though that he has to jump sports just to get a fight though. You know?
Well, at the time I think it was because of COVID.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you're right because he said he had a fight booked.
Yeah,
and then
he was at the weigh-ins. I think he said, and like he was changing or starting to get ready to take his stuff off, and then they came in there and said no.
Yeah,
but there are guys who are obviously fighters, and then there are guys who are. I guess I'll say it. There are boxers, and then there are business boxers.
Yeah.
Some guys are in it for the money, and they're going to take care of themselves, and they're going to take care of their careers.
Yeah.
Their records. And then other guys, they just want to fight. They just want to box because they like it.
I didn't know this, but Ricky Hatton did a what's it called? Exhibition match this year.
Really?
Finally got back in shape. Yeah. Apparently.
Back in shape for how old he is now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's cool. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah,
I loved Ricky Hatton.
He talked a lot of shit, but he was fun, dude. He really was.
Fun.
I mean, whenever him and Floyd, that was a lot of fucking fun. I know Floyd beat the brakes off of him, but it was fun though. I mean, so did Manny Pacquiao, but it was a fun fight. Apparently, who else, man? Manny Pacquiao signed with Ryzen.
Really?
Ryzen I think he signed with Ryzen to do exhibition fights.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we got Dylan Dennis pulling out of fights.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I got my own.
That's not really newsworthy.
No, it's not. But yeah, I just think when people call him a fraud, though, I'm like, you do realize he's won like world championships.
Yeah, he's an amazing grappler.
Yeah.
But he's not a fighter.
No. And I mean, some people just aren't fighters, and that's totally okay. You know, I mean, just stick to jiu-jitsu then. But I doubt
Even if he were to go out there and box this YouTuber, still not a fighter.
yeah. I mean, what are you proving? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
at least fucking Jake Paul's taking it serious, and he just signed to the PFL and shit.
I don't think he's taking it serious.
No,
No.
so
I
it's
don't
like
care that he signed with PFL. I will care when I see PFL's reaction to his signing, how they choose to handle it.
yeah,
Or are they going to let Jake Paul handle it? Because if they're letting Jake Paul handle it, he's not going to take it seriously. He's going to do what he's been doing, and they're just going to get paid for it, so they don't care.
yeah. It just he always advocates better pay for MMA fighters, this and that, and then he signs to the PFL. I'm like, oh shit, like I mean, fuck, good for him. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then you find out that he's taking 50% of the pay-per-view fights,
Pay-per-view buys, which could be going to other fighters.
Yeah, which could be going to other fighters. And it's like you completely just defeated the purpose of everything you preach,
Yeah.
And so I just don't agree with that too much. I'm just like, what's the point of fucking advocating better pay, and then you're taking money out of their pocket? Now this whole like 10 other fighters, 12 other fighters have to split 50% of these buys, and PFL's not selling pay-per-views like that.
Nope, they sure don't, which is why I wish they didn't charge so much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think $50 is that bad. It was 40. If it was 40, I'd be better with 40.
I'd be better with like $24.99 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
They pay their fighters well. They obviously get their money one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because they didn't used to do pay-per-views, and they were still giving guys $1 million. So they get their money. So if I'm the PFL, I look at one has success, because like I think I'd said it before. You look at the way they do their events, and I think I used the word prestige. They make their events very prestigious. Everything, like, they make it look so like grandiose. They have all the fighters line up on the stage being introduced before all the fights start. They have the belt next to the cage or the ring the whole time lit up, and it's in a whole case. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And you look at their success, and what they do is specifically to be different, and to be more true to the sport. So why don't, for the PFL, you go, hey, we're going to do cheap pay-per-views because they don't need to be that expensive.
Yeah.
And I know the UFC is signed with ESPN, and that's why their pay-per-views are so expensive. But let's say that they're $80 now. So let's say that they got to stay $60.
You know what I just remembered? Talking about the PFL, how they split most of the pay-per-view earnings with their fighters. They split half, so they keep the other half. So that means Jake Paul's gonna get a whole 25% to him, and then the fighters are gonna have to now split 25%.
Yeah.
If I was anybody that used to fight the UFC, I'd be like, why the fuck did I leave? Like, well,
Oh, they're still getting paid, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they still get paid more than most of the guys. I don't know about Anthony Pettis or
I'm sure Anthony
guys
Pettis
like him.
probably is one of the top paid fighters for them.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying there's a chance he could have made more in the UFC than he did here. I don't think so, but of all the fighters they have, he would be one of the probably highest paid from when he was in the UFC.
Yeah.
But over there, he's probably getting paid more than he did in the UFC still.
Yeah.
But
do you remember whenever he was supposed to? They asked him to fill in for Tony, like on a day's notice, or for Max against Khabib.
Anthony Pettis?
They asked Anthony Pettis, and Anthony Pettis wanted more money, and they told him no. So yeah,
He would have lost.
he would have lost, yes, but I get why he wanted more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how are you not gonna pay the dude's a former world champ? Like,
Yeah.
how are you not gonna pay him extra money for it? What?
We don't have the battery life for this conversation,
Okay.
Devin.
So I guess that's about it then. Hopefully these are pretty much today. We just want to do something different. This is what we do all the time. This is all we talk about.
Yeah. This is why we started this podcast, just because we just sit around talking about whatever's going on or interesting things, or at least what we find interesting in MMA. We'll just do that. So eventually we were just like, dude, and some of the things we would talk about would end up happening. So it's like, let's just record ourselves talking about it.
We should talk about music one of these days.
Music? Do we even know any musicians?
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. I appreciate the listen.
Y'all take care. Follow. Please.